Hi, this is Lisa Hayes from the Relationship RX show, escapefromrelationshiphell.com, and I am here with you today with my first in a new series called the Down and Dirty series, which isn't what you think. It's just short little series for my radio show where we're going to take on like small issues that can be big issues, but we're going to deal with them in a short amount of time. We're going to break these down into digestible little lessons. It's just going to be you and me versus you and me and a guest, which it usually is, and we're going to kind of handle these things in 5-10 minutes most. So this is going to be easy. My first topic today is what I call containerizing conflict, which came up in my show last week where I was talking about a reader who had emailed in with a question where she had said that money is a really hot issue in her relationship with her husband right now. They're fighting a lot about money, and they used to have a peaceful, wonderful relationship, and now it is leaning towards the side of sort of sucks because this is happening all the time. And I talked about scheduling a time once a week to take these things on, which is maybe easier said than done, but really works. And after last week's show, I got a lot of email questions about that particular concept, so I thought I would use this time to talk about that a little more. I call it containerizing because that's what it is. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's building a space, which is kind of a sacred space, where you bring the issues to the table. And in this particular case, it's a space and time. So if you have an issue that is really, really difficult in your relationship, for example, money, but it can be anything actually, and you're getting a lot of conflict sort of oozing out over this, a couple of things are probably going on. First of all, you're probably fighting around the perimeter of it. Like, nobody's saying what's really scaring them. Nobody's talking about what's really upsetting them, but you're sort of sniping at each other. There's a lot of anxiety, and it's literally oozing out. It becomes almost cancerous. And it's happening all the time. So what you do is you make an agreement with your partner where you say, we're going to schedule one time a week where we're going to talk about this and just this. And we're going to keep this topic to that one time a week. So one night a week or one, afternoon on the weekend, whenever you're available, you schedule a time to discuss this. And you work really hard to not let it bleed out into your relationship at other times. You may have to remind yourself and your honey, you know what, we're talking about this on Tuesday night, so let's not do this right now. And it's sort of a learned skill, like a learned practice, where you may find that in the beginning it's hard. Like, it's hard to keep the conflict out of your daily life because it's been happening there so much. It's maybe hard to stop the conflict at the end of the agreed upon time, but there needs to be an end time. We're going to do this for an hour, we're going to do this for half an hour, and then we're going to be done. But as you do this more and more, you will find it gets easier. Like, you build your muscles around this. And you will find that the conflict in your daily life on the home front starts to come down, and that feels good. So in order to make this work, the steps kind of are: schedule a time, probably schedule it weekly at the same time. Be fully honest, because like I said, part of what happens is that we're not really talking about what we're afraid of, and this is your space to do that. It's your sacred space to be fully honest about your fear and your anger and whatever is going on. Stop it when the time is over, and as best you can, keep it to that topic. Meaning, if you're talking about money, then you don't use this particular containerized time to talk about money and housework and parenting and bills and whatever. You leave it to the topic on the table at the time. And you work that topic until the conflict comes down. You may find then that you actually enjoy this practice because it keeps conflict out of the rest of your relationship in a more effective way. In which case, when conflict around this subject, in our example, money, has started to come down, then you may use this time to take on, housework or whatever else is going on that you want to bring conflict down around. But it's really about saying that our relationship is a sacred space that we're going to try not to bring a lot of conflict into. We're going to create this container where we're dealing with our issues. Because let's face it, we can't solve issues when we're angry. Like, that's not an energy that is conducive to problem solving. So we want to come to this as best we can in a calm space where we're really focused on problem solving and hearing and being heard and communicating on a higher level. So this stuff works. I encourage you to try it. I think that you will be very pleased with the results of this. I actually would love to hear how this works for you. But again, I encourage you to practice. Like, keep doing this, and you will notice it gets easier and easier. And the rest of your relationship gets easier and easier too. So again, Lisa Hayes, escapefromrelationshiphell.com. Thank you for joining me, and we will be back again next week with another down and dirty lesson. All right.